History is full of whispers, tales of legendary places and treasures swallowed by time. We're told they're just myths, stories to tell around a campfire. But what if I told you some of those legends are real? Today, we're diving into 20 incredible discoveries that were thought to be lost forever, until a bit of luck, a lot of digging, and some incredible technology brought them back to life. Let's start with a city straight out of epic poetry. For centuries, the legendary city of Troy, the stage for Homer's Iliad, was considered pure fiction, a place of heroes like Achilles and Hector. Then came Heinrich Schliemann, a determined amateur archaeologist in the 1870s. Following the clues in Homer's text, he started digging in modern-day Turkey and unearthed the ruins of a mighty city. Layer upon layer of history was revealed, proving that the epic Trojan War wasn't just a story, but was rooted in a real, powerful Bronze Age stronghold. A legend had been found. Speaking of legendary cities, let's travel to the Andes Mountains. High above the clouds, shrouded in mist, lay Machu Picchu. While local communities knew of its existence, the lost city of the Incas was virtually unknown to the outside world. That all changed in 1911 when American explorer Hiram Bingham, guided by local farmers, was led up the steep slopes. What he found was breathtaking. A perfectly preserved Inca citadel, a marvel of engineering that had been abandoned for centuries. Bingham's expedition brought Machu Picchu to global fame, turning it into one of the most iconic symbols of a lost civilization. From mountain peaks to English fields, imagine finding a king's ransom buried in your backyard. That's essentially what happened at Sutton Hoo in 1939. An amateur archaeologist, Basil Brown, was hired to investigate mysterious mounds on a private estate. Under one of them, he didn't just find a few artifacts. He found the ghostly imprint of an entire 90-foot-long Anglo-Saxon ship. And within it, a burial chamber filled with breathtaking treasures, a warrior's helmet, intricate gold buckles, silver bowls, and coins from distant lands. It was the tomb of a powerful 7th-century king, a stunning window into the so-called Dark Ages, proving they were anything but. Now, let's bring technology into the mix. For decades, archaeologists knew that the dense jungles of Central America hid countless Mayan secrets. Hacking through the vegetation was slow and difficult. But what if you could just remove the trees? That's what LiDAR technology does. By shooting laser pulses from an airplane, scientists can digitally strip away the jungle canopy. The result? Mind-blowing. Entire lost cities with pyramids, palaces, causeways, and vast farm systems have appeared on their screens, revealing a civilization far larger and more complex than we ever imagined. It's like discovering a new world without taking a single step into the jungle. Let's head back to Europe, to a city frozen in a moment of terror. Pompeii was a bustling Roman city until 79 AD, when Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying it under tons of ash and pumice. It was wiped off the map, lost for nearly 1,700 years. When rediscovered in the 18th century, it was an archaeological miracle. The ash had acted as a preservative, capturing a perfect snapshot of Roman life. We can walk its streets, see bread still in the ovens, and view vibrant frescoes on villa walls. It's a haunting and unparalleled glimpse into the daily lives of people from 2 millennia ago. From a city of the dead to an army for the afterlife. In 1974, farmers in Xi'an, China, were digging a well. Instead of water, they struck something hard, the head of a clay soldier. They had stumbled upon one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century, the terracotta army. Thousands of life-sized, incredibly detailed warriors, each with a unique face, along with horses and chariots. They were built to guard China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in the afterlife. An entire silent subterranean army that had stood guard, forgotten, for over 2,000 years. Deep in the Cambodian jungle, another empire's heart lay hidden. Angkor Wat, The magnificent temple complex was the center of the Khmer Empire. But as the empire declined, the jungle moved in, swallowing the stone temples in a tangle of roots and vines. It was never truly lost to local people, but it faded from the world's memory. It wasn't until French explorers in the mid-19th century documented its grandeur that Angkor Wat was reintroduced to the world, revealing its breathtaking scale and intricate carvings, a true masterpiece reclaimed from nature. Now, for a discovery that completely rewrote the beginning of human history. For a long time, we thought complex society began with agriculture. Then, archaeologists began excavating a site in southeastern Turkey called Göbekli Tepe. What they found shattered all expectations. It's a massive temple complex with intricately carved stone pillars built around 11,500 years ago. That's 6,000 years before Stonehenge. It was built by hunter-gatherers, proving that complex religion and monumental construction came before the invention of farming and cities. It's the world's oldest known temple, and it's still making us question everything we thought we knew about our own origins. Sometimes the greatest treasure isn't gold, but knowledge, and the key to unlocking an entire civilization was found on a single slab of stone. For centuries, Egyptian hieroglyphs were a complete mystery. Then, in 1799, Napoleon's soldiers in Egypt found the Rosetta Stone. It was inscribed with the same text in 3 scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Ancient Greek. Because scholars could still read Greek, they finally had a way to decipher the lost language of the pharaohs. That one stone unlocked 3,000 years of Egyptian history, allowing us to read their stories in their own words for the first time in millennia. Of all the pharaohs, one name echoes through history: Tutankhamun. Yet for a long time, he was a minor, forgotten boy king. Archaeologist Howard Carter was obsessed with finding his tomb, convinced it was one of the few that hadn't been looted in antiquity. After years of fruitless searching in the Valley of the Kings, his sponsor was about to pull funding. Then, in 1922, they found a step cut into the rock. It led to a sealed doorway. When Carter finally peered inside, he saw wonderful things. He had found the virtually intact tomb of King Tut, packed with over 5,000 dazzling artifacts, from his golden death mask to his thrones and chariots. The discovery created a global sensation and gave us our most vivid look at the wealth of the pharaohs. Let's go deeper into the ancient Near East. The great Assyrian capital of Nineveh was another city of legend, mentioned in the Bible but thought lost to the sands of time. In the mid-19th century, explorers rediscovered its ruins in modern-day Iraq, uncovering massive palaces guarded by winged bull statues. Even more importantly, they found the library of King Ashurbanipal. It contained over 30,000 cuneiform tablets, including the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the world's oldest works of literature. It was like finding the entire intellectual heritage of a lost empire. Half-built, half-carved into sheer rose-red cliffs, the city of Petra in Jordan is a true wonder. It was the capital of the Nabateans, a wealthy trading people. After the Roman era, its location was lost to the Western world, becoming a secret known only to local Bedouin tribes. In 1812, Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt disguised himself as an Arab scholar and persuaded a local guide to lead him to the legendary Lost City. What he saw was astounding. The iconic treasury facade emerging from a narrow canyon. He had revealed Petra's secrets to the world once more. Hidden away in caves overlooking the Dead Sea lay another literary treasure. In 1947, a young Bedouin shepherd, looking for a lost goat, threw a rock into a cave and heard the sound of shattering pottery. Inside, he and his friends found clay jars containing ancient scrolls. These were the first of the Dead Sea Scrolls, a vast collection of ancient Jewish texts hidden away 2,000 years ago. They include the oldest known manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible and other previously unknown texts, revolutionizing our understanding of Judaism and the historical context of early Christianity. How and when did the first people arrive in the Americas? For a long time, the answer was a mystery. Then came the discovery of distinctive fluted spear points near Clovis, New Mexico in the 1930s. These Clovis points were found alongside the bones of mammoths, proving that humans were in North America hunting megafauna over 13,000 years ago. These Clovis sites became the benchmark for the first Americans, giving us a tangible link to the continent's earliest pioneers. But were they the first from across the Atlantic? We all know the rhyme about Columbus in 1492, but Norse sagas spoke of a land called Vinland, discovered by Vikings centuries earlier. For a long time, it was dismissed as myth. But in the 1960s, archaeologists Helgi and Anne Stein Ingstad uncovered the remains of a Norse settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. They found turf-walled houses and iron artifacts dating to around 1000 AD. It was concrete proof. The Vikings had reached America 500 years before Columbus, turning saga into historical fact. Back to Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. In the 1920s, archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley excavated the ancient Sumerian city of Ur. There he made a spectacular and gruesome discovery, the royal tombs. These weren't just the graves of kings and queens, they were death pits. The rulers were buried with their entire retinue of servants, guards, and musicians, who apparently went to their deaths willingly to serve their masters in the afterlife. The tombs were filled with stunning treasures of gold, lapis lazuli, and carnelian, revealing the incredible wealth and complex rituals of early Sumerian society. On the island of Crete, another legend awaited its rediscovery. The story of King Minos, his labyrinth, and the fearsome Minotaur was a cornerstone of Greek mythology. In the early 20th century, archaeologist Arthur Evans began excavating at a site called Knossos. He uncovered the ruins of a vast, sprawling palace complex with hundreds of rooms, vibrant frescoes of bull leapers, and a unique, advanced culture he named Minoan. He believed he had found the palace of King Minos himself, bringing the legends of ancient Crete to life. For a long time, the Hittites were a mysterious people mentioned only in the Bible. No one knew who they were or where their kingdom was. That is, until their great capital, Hattusa, was rediscovered in central Turkey. Excavations revealed a massive fortified city and, crucially, a royal archive of thousands of clay tablets. When deciphered, they told the story of a mighty Bronze Age empire that rivaled Egypt and Babylon, a superpower lost to history. The finds completely rewrote our understanding of the ancient world. The ruins of Persepolis in modern-day Iran are a monument to the sheer scale of the ancient Persian Empire. Founded by Darius the Great, it was a ceremonial capital filled with monumental palaces and reliefs, showing envoys from across the empire bringing tribute. Though burned by Alexander the Great, its mighty stone foundations and columns survived, buried by sand and time. Later excavations systematically uncovered and preserved the site, showcasing the grandeur of one of antiquity's greatest empires for all to see. Finally, some discoveries are so vast you can only see them from the sky. The Nazca lines in the deserts of Peru are a perfect example. For centuries, people walked right over them, unaware of what lay beneath their feet. It wasn't until the 1930s, with the advent of commercial aviation, that pilots flying over the region looked down and saw massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor. A spider, a hummingbird, a monkey, hundreds of figures, some stretching for hundreds of feet. Created by the Nazca culture nearly 2,000 years ago, their purpose remains a mystery. But their rediscovery from the air revealed a spectacular, lost artistic tradition. From Troy to the Nazca lines, these discoveries remind us that history is not a closed book. It's a living, breathing story with chapters still waiting to be found, right beneath our feet or hidden in plain sight. Thanks so much for joining us on this incredible journey through time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. See you next time.